Tell me how you knew you had a gift for finding things.
My mother complaining profusely. I was the most impossible, precocious child to surprise whatsoever, and I'm still an impossible, precocious adult that's hard to surprise. I would find things that were hidden, such as a gigantic stuffed rabbit that my mom would buy on sale to give me as a gift. I'd come straight home from school and go directly to where she hid it, and she always changed the hiding spots because I'd know what she bought, what color it was, and where it was. Because as soon as I'd walk in the house, I would know where the item was, so I was approximately age 4. When I was approximately in 5th grade, I really had problems with other kids. I don't know how to explain it though, but I had no other friends. I had none. The other children, they called me a freak. They wanted nothing to do with me. And sometimes in life, what sets you apart and what makes you different, but what makes you shine like a star and special, are the same thing.
So what's the most unusual item you've ever found for somebody?
The most unusual item, it used to be that I'd only look for items that were expensive that would be considered a Class A felony if it was stolen. So it'd be $4,000 in general and up. And then I realized that that was completely unfair of me because sometimes it's an item that creates a lot of stress and really is upsetting if it gets lost. I work for a very eccentric lady that does Halloween parties, and I came over to her home, and her husband was very, very upset because the wife was very, very upset. And apparently Alphonse was missing. Now Alphonse, you would swear, is a person. He's a prop for a Halloween party, big ghoulie. And I walked into the house, and he's like, I hope you find this. I don't know how you do it, but just find it. So I went downstairs, and the nice lady that I work for was like, I've already looked there. It's not there now, if you insist. So I walked over there, moved stuff away, went into the box, opened it out, and just handed her Alphonse. And she goes, I knew it was there all along.
One of the most stressful things in life is when something very valuable or
is missing.
A document is missing and you cannot find it. So that's wonderful.
I found jewelry, I found paperwork, last will and testament, all sorts of different scenarios. Because people don't always know when they're going to go unexpectedly, and sometimes you have to help the family.
So you've helped families find a lost will?
Yeah.
Now, how do you think this works, this ability to find things? How do you think it works in the brain or maybe outside of the brain?
Well, the ability, as much as I can tell, I don't always understand how or why it happens, but I can describe what happens to me. I feel it, much like a ping, I'd imagine, on an electronic radar for sonar, something for submarine. Basically what happens is first I get a feeling. It comes from like deep within inside my chest, almost like a longing. It's very, very intense emotion, but it doesn't feel quite right when it's not for me. It feels foreign, so it does feel like I'm being violated in a way. Kind of like when you're in on a secret that you shouldn't be aware of. That's what it feels like. It's this very intense knowing, and then it becomes a visual. So it starts with a deep feeling, like a drawing, like I'd be drawn for you. If I was looking for you at a public place, I'd be drawn to find you, kind of like I would know you'd be right around the corner to the left. It's a knowing, a very intense knowing. But then I would get a visual, such as what the item is and where it would be at. So from that vantage point of wherever the item is, and see in reverse. So I would see, if I was looking for you, through your perspective, what are you looking at? And then I can find you in reverse.
What is the reaction people have when you find their lost item?
They're usually very thankful. Sometimes I don't get to see their reaction because a lot of times when I've been helping somebody out, it has been via text message.
Okay.
Because I can do that. I do not have to be on location in order to find the object. I don't have to be in the same state. I don't have to be close by whatsoever. So a lot of times it's just texting, and they thank me and give me the heads up and the mathematical equation of where it was found from the ratio of the targeting. And sometimes very large military type words are used that I don't quite understand, and I ask them to kindly dumb it down for me. Apparently my grading on targeting was 99.8% accuracy rate. I found a man's hearing aid in the city of Gurnee. So based on the area and the geographic location, That is beyond finding a needle in a haystack.
No
So
kidding.
it's pretty extraordinary. One of probably the lamest objects that I found was paperwork for a catechism class, but the woman was so upset. She was absolutely irate and stressed and beside herself with worry. Basically what happened is I did go on location, I did walk around the living room and the house, and I kept pinging on a particular box in the house. And once again, this woman was very adamant that she had already looked there, and I said, honey, I am so truly sorry, but it's in this box. And she yelled at me, it's not in there. And I went, okay, if you insist, who am I to judge? So I picked up the box and I went, yell at me later. And I took the entire, it was this massive box. It was so heavy. It was probably 30 pounds of paper. And I dumped it on the floor and I just picked it up and handed it to her.
Ta-da!
And she goes, I hate it when you do that. And then she said, thank you.
Oh, good.
I've donated a lot of my time for different particular organizations over the years, one of which being for a school fundraiser, and I was sold at auction. I was recently asked to tell the story of a father and what had happened to him, and apparently I ended up quoting the autopsy report. I don't have autopsy report access. I don't know the local district attorney or anyone of that nature, and I made the woman feel better and feel connected to her situation. I don't make a dime for helping people like that. When I bring information through and stuff of that topic, I've donated my time because who would I be to judge what's important and what's not because of cash flow? I just want to help people. It's about touching lives, not about cashing in.